Well, I've just come into the greenhouse. It's Bank Holiday Monday. We've got beautiful blue skies. I think it's going to be another hot day. But I thought, while the light is just so beautiful in here at the moment, I thought I'd come and show you the seedlings and how they're doing. So everything's starting to come up now. So this is the rhubarb chard with a distinctive red stem. And then next to them we've got kale. So they need pricking out. But they're doing very, very well. And then one of my favourites is the Lollo Rossa lettuce, which as that develops, that will the leaves will turn a deep red. It's very, very pretty. Salad onions peeking through, and then some of the leeks. So they're all underway. These are the lemons. Seem really happy now they've been potted on. And then you've got peppers. They all look very happy. And the Cheyenne chili peppers. And the jalapeno. Leeks. Doing well. Do need to weed these though. I'll do that in a little while. Still the calendula come. Got a little bit of powdery mildew, but I'll just pull off the affected leaves. Keep picking the flowers to encourage more, but they're very pretty. Oh, did you just see that? Oh my goodness, that was I called it a bee the other day, a hummingbird bee, but it's actually a moth. Oh my god, it's right next to me. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Well, I've just taken a 5-minute break just to process what I've just witnessed in the garden. I'm just so excited. I was just doing a little bit of filming, and right beside me, and I didn't even notice it was there until it started moving, was a hummingbird hawk moth. It was absolutely beautiful. It's the second time I've seen it in the last 2 weeks. Never ever seen one before, so I'm absolutely thrilled. And as I've already said, I've done lots of things this year to try and encourage the wildlife, and I was particularly excited when I managed to spot a red admiral, and also very, very excited when the long-tailed tits arrived, and they've been in the garden almost every day since. But this is just topped it. Absolutely wonderful. I've had 16 days off of work. I've got one more day. No, sorry, this is the last day before I go back to work tomorrow. And it's just absolutely topped it. I'm thrilled to bits. So I think I'm going to go and make a cup of coffee now, and then soldier on in the garden. It's so hot outside. I've had to come indoors. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. We've got glorious blue skies, but the heat and the humidity is just too much at the moment. And the way the garden's set out, the summer house and my little patio table and chairs, they're in full sun at the moment, so there's absolutely no escape from the heat at all. So I've come in to try and cool down a bit. Paddy's asleep on the sofa, he's just trying to cool down as well. And I thought I'd just spend a little bit of time reflecting on my 2 weeks holiday that I've had at home, how much I've enjoyed it and what I've achieved. So one of my objectives for this year, in fact, was, and I've said it over and over again, is the trying to attract the wildlife into the garden. That's been my #1 priority. And I thought I'd have a look at my garden diary, which I keep, and I've kept this for quite a few years, put all sorts of notes in, things that work, things that don't work. And I'd got an entry for 2016, which I can show you. And it was the wildlife that I recorded in the garden at that time, and it's not really that impressive, to be honest. I've got robins, sparrows, blackbirds, starlings, pigeons and collared doves. That's all the birds that visited the garden. I had one squirrel, so I was quite proud of that. And then the large white butterflies, which I get every year, and they're prolific, and especially when you're growing vegetables. I also recorded a mint moth, and I can't even remember what that looks like now, and a meadow brown. Now, this year, this is my list for this year, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 further species of birds that I hadn't recorded before. So I've put down here the starlings, sparrows, dunnocks, blackbird, song thrush, wood pigeon, collared doves. I've had a great tit, goldfinches, long-tailed tits, which are just adorable, blue tits and a sparrowhawk. Not quite so welcome, but that's nature. And then butterflies, I've had a red admiral, which I was just over the moon at seeing that. A meadow brown, a large white, small whites, peacock, common blue, painted lady, and the comma butterfly, which I'd never seen before. And then this morning was the absolute hummingbird hawk moth, which was just stunning. What else? Dragonflies and a hedgehog, no squirrel. So that was quite successful, so I was pleased about that. Also managed to do some weeding. I've harvested all my sweet corn. It wasn't as brilliant as previous years, but nonetheless I still got some in the freezer now. Loads of beans. They slowed right down at one point. I was a bit disappointed, but they've come into their own again. So I've got loads and loads of beans every single day. I've now sown some cauliflowers. I sowed some radish seeds this morning. What else have I done? Potted on my lemons, which I'm really chuffed about, and repotted my peppers, so they're really doing well at the moment. And considering I just saved that seed from one pepper that I'd bought from the supermarket, and it was just when I was cutting it up for cooking that I thought I'd save the seeds, and I've got, I think, 6 plants, 5 or 6 plants now, and they're all fruiting, so I'm really pleased with that. The only other thing I've noticed is the tomatoes. They're really struggling, and I think it's the heat. I've done everything I can to try and make them happy, but I think the unrelentless heat's just been too much for them. So next year when I grow them, I think I'm going to have to position them in a different part of the greenhouse, so they're not in direct sunlight, and they're going to have some shading as well. And I think that's been something lacking this year. I need to work out how to put some shading up in the greenhouse. But that's it. My 2 weeks is over. I've really enjoyed it. I think Paddy's been happy having me home all the time. Back to work tomorrow, so the blogs and videos won't be quite as frequent as they've been the last few weeks, because I do 10-hour shifts and they're pretty tiring. And for fear of waffling on, I think that's it for now. So take care everybody. Hope you're enjoying your bank holiday.